Okay, so I wanted to show you some images of the 25th anniversary banknote portfolio. This is a shot of the leather folder that the notes are housed in. Don't take any notice of the sort of grey appearance of the leather. It's just the way that the item's been photographed. It is a really rich, deep black, and you can see from the embossing it's in a lovely silver colour. So that looks fantastic. It even smells great. This is the protective paper sleeve that the note album is contained in. So that's a really nice quality paper, and you can see that that section of the Captain Cook has actually been taken from a bit of a banknote design. And again, this is just part of the attention to detail that's with this set. Each of the 25th anniversary portfolios has been hand numbered, and you can see that a lot of this design detail here has come from the actual notes included in the album. This particular section probably comes from the $1 note. You can see the signature of Henry Lawson there coming from the 10, and that's a recurring theme throughout the album, and it's just part of the really high quality design that's been used to put this together. So this is the inner page. Again, it's showing all the different design elements from the notes. You've got obviously the 2 from the $2 note, the coat of arms from the $1 note, and the signature of Roland Wilson, who was one of the signatories to the notes at the time of decimal currency's introduction in 1966. The fact that you've got the signatures of these two gentlemen here, the General Manager of Note Printing Australia and Bernie Fraser, the Governor of Reserve Bank, shows that there was a lot of involvement in the preparation of this album right throughout the Reserve Bank and Note Printing Australia, like from the highest levels of that department. This is just the introductory page, and then now this is the first page leading into the first note in the album. You can see that this portrait here has been taken from the 10 shilling note, and you've got the right hand side of Old Parliament House in Canberra, as it's now known, which has been taken from the back. Now all of this has been put together with a really high quality graphic designer. I think it just looks fantastic, and it's one of the reasons why these banknote folders have got such a broad appeal, because they look fantastic, and anyone who's a non-collector can look at an album like this and really appreciate the history that it's got. Okay, so this is the first of the pre-decimal notes. This is the 10 shilling note. It's got the AH69 serial prefix, and you can see that the 999942 is the serial number, which means it's the 58th last 10 shilling note printed in Australia. So it's well within the last 100 10 bob notes ever printed. Again, you've got this background paper which has got sections of design removed, so that's that bit there has been taken from that bit there. These notes are sealed. They're actually sealed in a mylar window. Now they've been taken from Reserve Bank archives. So what that means, I should confess, I've cut a number of these folders up back in the late 90s when we had a lot of them available for sale, and there was demand for the notes individually. But these notes are absolutely original condition. They were in Reserve Bank archives for 25 years. Generally there are no creases or anything like that with them, because they only sat in archives, and they never went anywhere near circulation, because they were checked by Reserve Bank staff during a stock take once every so often. I don't know how often they did it, but they obviously did. Some of the notes have teleflicks on the right hand side here. Now some people don't think that they're as desirable for that reason. You know, to me, if you can get a note that's been taken from Reserve Bank archives and has got a serial number like that, whether or not they have a teleflick on them is really irrelevant, because they're beautiful natural notes, and you know, the provenance is beyond question. So this is the back sheet of that page, and this is the left hand side of the 10 shilling page, and as you can see, it shows the original portrait that was used by the designer to engrave his own portrait of Matthew Flinders for the 10 shilling note, and it gives a bit of a background about the man himself and how the note design came about. And you know, when you look at each and every single individual page, you've got 8 pages of fantastic information about the notes included in this set. So there's a lot of history and really interesting information in it. There's a $1 note, and again, if you see that light mark down through that section there, that's actually well, that's probably a teleflick. You can see from the serial number that it's the 942nd $1 note printed, and again, it's just incredible to think that average people can have notes that are so historic and been taken from Reserve Bank archives. There's the £1 note. There's the HK68 serial number, which again was not issued for circulation. The last prefix for £1 notes was HK65, so there's absolutely no way that you could find one of these in your change back in the late 60s or in the mid 60s when decimal currency was introduced. And again, there's a section of the notes design being used there. Now the matching $2 note, and you can see one of the interesting things is you can see the similarity between the two notes there. So the really interesting thing about these sets is that the serial number on the £1 note is very closely matched with the serial of the $2 note, the matching denomination and decimal system. Now, of the first 1,000 notes that were used to put these sets together, only 800 of the notes could be used, so they could only put together 800 match sets. Now the reason for that is that even though they may have had FAA 942 set aside, they may not have had the corresponding number in another denomination. So there are obviously, for one reason or another, 200 notes missing out of the first 1,000 and one denomination or another, and so only 800 sets could be put together. So again, that's the FAA is the highest, most valuable decimal first prefix in that condition. You know, they're worth sort of $2,000–3,000 for a standard note that hasn't been taken from archives. So now we come to the £5 note, which is really a really attractive bit of paper currency. Again, you can see the TD10 serial prefix. That note was not issued for circulation, and that was well within the last 100 notes printed. It was within the last 60 £5 notes ever printed. And again, this note's in superb original natural condition. $10 note, the matching $10 note, you can see again you've got that matching serial number there, the different design elements in the background. It's a lovely gloss. The paper is an even matte, but it's got this gloss finish to certain sections of it. There's some more information on the back of the note, and each and every single note's presented in the same way, so there's plenty of information to read about the background to all the designs. Now, this note's my favourite out of the whole lot. WA62. If you look up the mintage or the number of £10 notes printed within QE of that serial number back in the 1960s. That was the last prefix issued for circulation, and again there are only, if you look up Mick Vaughan-Ronald's book on Australian pre-decimal notes, there were only 60,000 notes with that serial prefix issued. So it is an incredibly rare, prefix note, and that's again, that's in superb mint condition. These photographs don't really show it to the level of quality that the note actually is. And the final note in the album is the $20. Interestingly, the XAA20 is the least valuable note in the whole album. For some reason, there were a lot of those 20s that were that remain available to collectors today. So it's only worth about $700 in mint condition, but that's probably a result of them being used as a store of value. So a lot of people decided to keep them set aside for a rainy day. So you know, all of the notes in this album are matched. And that goes back to the cover. So all in all, I wanted to show you, it's very hard to show the history and the real appeal that these note albums have just by showing you a couple of photographs. So I wanted to be able to walk you through it as if we were looking at it in the shop. So if you're thinking of something to set aside to pass down through the family to younger people that are not really sure about what pounds, shillings and pence were, or you want to have something as a reminder of the introduction of decimal currency in 1966, you could certainly do worse than getting something like this. They're incredibly rare, and if you read through the information on this page, you'll see the value of it as it stacks up against comparable numismatic items and also against auction sales of similar things.